Hey there foodies, welcome back to my channel. Let's make the softest and most delicious cross buns you'll ever have. If you guys enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't as yet, do subscribe to my channel. Let's get right into this video. The first step for my cross buns, here I have 1 1/4 cups of warm milk, and I added 1/4 cup of sugar. This is enough sugar for me. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good mix and add 1 packet of that yeast that I'm using today. You can use any yeast of choice. I just choose to use this because it's very good for rising and for baking bread as well. I'm going to go ahead and give that a good mix and apply some cling wrap on my measuring cup here to allow this to proof very well. I'm going to set this aside in a very warm place for 50 minutes until my yeast is fully proofed. My choice of fruit for my cross buns is raisins today. I'm going to go in my food processor with 1 cup of black raisins, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sweet red wine. If you don't want to use the wine that is alcoholic, you can use a non-alcoholic option as well. Just note that the taste will be a little different. However, it's your choice to blend it with the non-alcoholic or alcoholic option. I will be adding 1 egg to my cross buns. I'm going to go ahead and add 1.25 tablespoons of vanilla essence and give that a good mix so that I can cut any rawness or rankness out of this egg. The egg is optional, but if you do not add the egg, it may not rise or bake the same way. However, if you want to keep it veggie, you can totally omit the egg. To 3 cups of all-purpose flour, I'm going to go in with 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. I'm going to mix this up to make sure that all of my spices are evenly combined into my flour. After 15 minutes, this is what my yeast is looking like. I always like to do my yeast this way to make sure that it's not dead, because there's no way that you can know if your yeast is dead or alive unless you try to activate it. Once you have this step successful, you will definitely have a successful end product. I'm going to go in with my yeast mixture there. I added 1/2 stick of melted salted butter, and I'm also going to add my egg and vanilla essence to combine all of my wet ingredients. I'm going to give this a good mix and then add it to my flour. For extra flavor, I'm going to go in with about 1 tablespoon of orange zest. You can use lemon as well. I just like to use the orange because it gives a much more sweeter taste in the cross buns. I'm going to go in with my spatula and give everything a very good mix. You're going to see that this batter or this dough is going to be very wet and very sticky. This is what you want to ensure that you have a nice and soft cross buns that can stay soft for a good amount of days. I'm going to go in with my blended raisins as well, combine everything, and then I will come back and show you what it should be looking like when it's time to set it aside to rise. This is a consistency you're looking for, a nice, soft, and sticky dough. I'm going to go ahead and cover this very tightly with some cling wrap and place it in a very warm spot, which is usually my microwave for me. And I'm going to allow this to rest for an hour until it has doubled or tripled in size. Yours may vary for the time it needs to rise because of the temperature you're putting it in, or if you live in a cold climate, it may take about 1.5 hours to 2. Just let it take as long as it needs to take so that it can rise properly. After exactly 1 hour, this is what my dough is looking like. As you can see, it not only doubled in size, it tripled in size in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over onto a nice clean floured surface and give it a little knead so that I can release all of the air that has developed in there, and I will start to divide up my pieces so that I can start forming my cross buns. From 3 cups of flour, I got 6 cross buns, but you can most definitely get 8 out of these. I'm going to cover this and allow it to rise for an additional hour, and then I will prepare it for baking. After the additional hour, this is what the cross buns are looking like. They have risen and doubled in size once again. I'm going to go ahead and make the flour paste that you use to make the cross on top. Here I just added 1/4 cup of flour to my Ziploc bag, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of water and give this a good mix until it forms a nice paste consistency. I'm going to go ahead and add my cross on top of my cross buns. This does not need to be perfect because when it bakes in the oven, the shape will change. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly spread my flour mixture paste that I would have made earlier on top of there, and then I will go in the opposite direction to form the crosses. This is optional, but I like to add a cherry on top just for garnishing to make it look a little bit pretty. I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven at 350 degrees and bake these for 25 minutes until golden brown. My cross buns are almost finished baking. I'm going to make the little sugar glaze that you use to put on top to add sheen. Here I just added 2 tablespoons of white sugar and 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to mix this until it's fully dissolved. This is my finished cross buns after 25 minutes of baking. I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar glaze. This just adds a nice shiny appearance. Also, it does add a little bit of sweetness. If you want to add more sugar to your glaze, feel free to do so, but I feel this is just enough for me. This is what my finished cross buns are looking like. They baked up so perfectly. They are very soft, very delicious, and they will stay that way for days. I'm going to go ahead and break into one so you guys can see what the inside is looking like. But just look at all of that fruit. You can see the little bits of orange zest. This was absolutely delicious and we loved it. I'm going to show you what the inside is looking like. As you can see, all of that fruit, all of that orange zest is very present, and the flavor was just amazing from these. If you guys enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't as yet, do subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.